This series is about outstanding architecture from around America. From stunning residential to public spaces to commercial, this is an architectural deep dive to uncover the incredible stories behind each design. Welcome to America by Design. Our ByDESIGN industry experts have selected innovative, inspiring, and award-winning projects.
I think what makes architecture important is when it positively affects the lives of the people that interact with it. I mean, we're the people that go into buildings, we live in buildings, we work in buildings, we play in buildings, and spaces that really elevate our experience as people are what make architecture good.
Let's get started with our first project.
I am in an old quarry in New Jersey, and there's a really special architectural story to be told here.
We wanted to make a design that rose to the level of this profound place. It is truly an amazing story. So we started, first of all, by creating a museum that works closely with the quarry. Not only are there exhibits inside, laboratories and other spaces that you learn from about the dinosaurs and their ultimate fate, you see the quarry from the museum and you're enticed and invited to go down to dig for your own fossil.
So what was the design concept?
First of all, it was to integrate this building into this beautiful natural setting. And therefore, the material strategy is really important. That wood cladding made by Resawn is instrumental in giving it a natural feel, so that it feels like it belongs here. In addition to that, we had this idea though, which is about the power of the quarry. It's an opening in the earth that lets us see 66 million years back in time. We wanted to create a series of openings in these gallery volumes, what we call lenses. And those lenses, like the quarry opening, bridge the past and the present, but it also bridges the now and our possible future.
So Lakeisha, we are descending into a fossil quarry, and every footfall brings us back an average of 300,000 years.
Wow.
New Jersey is actually the cradle of dinosaur paleontology. The world's first tyrannosaur found 1 mile from here, and now the best window into the final days of the dinosaurs is right here in this quarry.
As a dinosaur hunter, can I call you that?
If you'd like.
What makes this space so unique?
We have this really important research layer, but above that, we have layers where the public can collect fossils for themselves. And every kid, every grown-up who comes here makes their own authentic discovery.
I could find a fossil?
By the end of today, you will find a fossil.
So, Michael, you're the experience designer.
That's right. So we develop what's called the visitor experience, and that's everything that visitors see, hear, feel that tells the story of the exhibitions and the exhibition design. You can see we're about to go into the first gallery called the Cretaceous World. But before we do that, the exhibition begins here with you, because everybody who comes here is an explorer and a scientist. And so you get this, what we call the explorer key.
I get to become an explorer?
That's right.
Oh,
here you go. You're going to use that throughout the exhibitions. Now let's go back in time.
Let's go.
Our work is all about creating really unique and memorable spaces and experiences. And so in this gallery, that means putting visitors back inside the Cretaceous world of 66 million years ago. You can see this natural environment that we pulled together where we choreograph the illustrated murals, sculptures, scenic recreation, graphic design, dynamic lighting and projection. What's really amazing about this place is that it's all right here and outside. If you look through that window, you can see the fossil dig out there, and the fossils at the bottom of that dig are right here brought to life in this gallery.
So I'm an explorer. What do I do with my key?
Well, so your job as an explorer is to find fossils. So as you look around these galleries, you're going to find these fossils hidden. You touch them with your explorer key and see them light up to know that you found them.
This is the Gallery of Monstrous Seas, Lakeisha. And what's really special about this place is that everything you see here was found on the property. we were underwater here 66 million years ago. So it's quite probable that, for instance, a mosasaur of that size was in that exact position at some point.
Oh my goodness.
Lakeisha, this is one of my favorite spots. It's the overlook. You can see this beautiful museum and you have a view to the ancient past.
So Ken, why look into the past?
Well, you know, I would probably say I'm more interested in the future, but the thing about the future is we don't have access to it. Nobody remembers the future. Nobody can do experiments in the future. And when you think about it, the present is nothing, right? The sentence I'm speaking now is already in your past. So the past is all we have. And it was Winston Churchill who said, the further back you look, the further ahead you can see. And if we really want to understand this very uncertain environmental future that we are sailing into, you have to look at Earth's deep time records. When you start to talk to the rocks, they start to whisper back at you. There have been 5 previous mass extinctions, all of them caused by climate crises. And now what are we doing? We are causing a climate crisis and a biodiversity crisis. And the mission of this museum is to discover the past and protect the future. So everything we have in here are fossils that we found on the property. And over the last 17 years, we have collected over 100,000 fossils representing over 100 extinct species. So these are the remains of a crocodile. You can see the corner of its jaw here. You can touch it if you want. Here is the bottom shell called the plastron of a very big sea turtle.
Oh, I love turtles.
These are actually some of the most informative fossils that we find. You can hold that if you like. Now, if you want to sound all fancy and scientific, you can call this a coprolite.
But what does it really mean?
Or you could call it fossil poo.
Oh, wow.
Which is what it is.
66 million year old poo.
Yes. This is the femur, the thigh bone, of a giant dinosaur that I discovered in Patagonia in Argentina.
Wow.
I named this dinosaur Dreadnoughtus because in life, it was 65 tons, the mass of 9 T-Rex, or about 10 tons heavier than a Boeing 737.
So Andy, this experience is just as much about the future as it is the past. How does the building play into that?
One of the really critical aspects of this building was being able to tell the sustainability story, and that comes out in a lot of ways, from passive design to a high-performance building envelope to the material selection. So if you look around the lobby, what you're seeing is glue laminated timber beams, columns, and roof decking by Western Arch Rib. Then you have this fantastic south-facing glass wall by Unicel Architectural, and all of our material selections, down to the carpet in the retail store, we've used a recycled content material that is also biophilically designed so it looks like lichen. It's called the Lichen Collection by Mohawk.
I also hear you're saving birds.
That's right. So we have a product that we've used on the exterior of the building, an Ornolux product by Arkin Glass, which is specifically made to prevent bird collisions.
I think I found one.
Yes, you did.
Can I take it home?
You can.
Am I now the dinosaur hunter?
Let's not get carried away.
The International Square project really is a demonstration how you breathe life into a sterile and barren space. And the designers have done that with materiality, with biophilia, that extensive ring of plants, but also the presence of culinary delights. And that's a place where I'd want to be.
International Square here in Washington, D.C. always showed lots of promise, with its entranceway carved out of the concrete, luring us into what must be something special inside. But until recently, it really was a bit of an overpromise. So what was here before?
There actually used to be a giant opening with a big fountain right in the middle with no place to sit around here.
It looked like a giant pineapple. I never understood it.
So where do you get started?
We started with Davis Construction, really learning what's here, what we can repurpose.
But the problem with existing buildings, you have to undo before you can do. So for us, It's about finding the things that are working, like this amazing atrium space. We would call it brutalist, meaning that it's this raw concrete, and we juxtapose it with other materials that are warmer. So for example, this flooring, it's by a manufacturer called Caswell, and it's really pulling the warmth of that material, the plants, and juxtaposing it again, sorry, architectural jargon, against this concrete structure.
Now, Juan, I understand there's a story behind these windows.
Well, they're not windows, Mike, they're doors. These are colossal doors by a manufacturer called Crown that open and connect us to the street.
And I mean, it's a little chilly today, Juan, but I can see what this would be like on a balmy summer's evening.
They've only been open for a year, but this summer it was hopping. This was retail before, so it was completely closed off from the rest of the atrium. So it just didn't allow for a connection between the street and the interiors. And as soon as these things open, it's very intentionally saying, come in here.
Hey, Richie, Ruben.
Mike.
This was all your idea.
Well,
it's probably more complicated than that.
It's a lot more complicated than that. But this is we saw the vision here. We had worked together for many years with Chef Jose Andres.
Oh wow!
Famous.
Yeah.
So we got super excited about finding efficiencies of like kind of combining the operational with being a landlord, if you will.
Okay.
And so we did a hybrid here of where we're operating and then we're bringing friends in to mitigate some of the risk and the lift.
When we saw it, we said like, yes, this is it.
Oh, I still have the selfie from the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, look at your smiles on your faces.
We're skinny. We're
I look
healthy.
That's for sure.
You knew on that day that this was it.
Yeah.
We looked up at this and we said, wow, this had potential.
Now you worked with the architects on this, Marius and Juan.
Yes, they're on Skype every day for 2 years. All during COVID, they were our COVID wives.
Yeah.
We told them what we needed to operate and they designed around it. And it was a really great relationship.
So Mike, you're actually looking here at 3 different buildings built between 1976 and 1980. In 1980, there was a roof put on this atrium, creating a need for mechanical ventilation in the space.
Okay, so we're really talking 100% air conditioning.
Yes, but we thought we could do much better than that with introducing natural ventilations to the space.
Oh, so you mean like the big doors that Juan was showing me?
Yes, but it's not as simple as that. We also utilize exhaust fans on the roof that allow us to pull the air up in the atrium and create the stack effect within the space.
Now I snuck up on the roof and I had a look at those fans. They look like they're from Second World War.
They're fairly old. We've augmented them a little bit, connected them to the system to really create a complete natural ventilated space.
Now Richie, where are you taking me?
Welcome to the heart of the square.
So we're underneath the food hall
one floor
here.
down.
Yeah.
And this is what supports everything upstairs.
Wow, this is another whole kitchen.
Yes.
Well, I've seen upstairs. There's kitchens upstairs.
Upstairs is just execution kitchens. They're more efficient kitchens just to get the product out. Down here is all the back end stuff. We've got ovens, we've got bakery, we've got a butcher shop.
Ah, so this powers upstairs.
So this powers upstairs. This is what enables it to be what it is upstairs.
So was all this here when you arrived?
No. We designed this whole space. We made it so that we could support everybody up there. We've got all the toys here.
I love hearing you talk about
so
it. You
exciting.
love this, don't you?
So exciting. Please come see the bakery. This is...
Okay. Oh boy, I want her job. That looks really satisfying.
So Mike, come on, let's go check out the meat room. I can show you the butcher.
You're exhausting.
This is our dry age room. We make sure to do it properly. We've got monitors, like it goes straight to our phones, tells us if everything is perfect and the humidity is right.
So when you stumbled on this space, you knew that
We saw the potential for this. I mean, we saw the space for it. There's no windows. This is a basement.
Yeah.
This isn't a retail space.
There's nothing else you can do with it.
Right, I mean, it would have been storage otherwise.
So Ruben, tell me about the philosophy of this place. Like, how do you choose your partners?
So what we did first is what we call it menu mix. Menu mix means that you can go with your 5 friends. All of them, they are different. One is vegetarian, another one is pescatarian, another one is a vegan. But the menu, covers all that needs. which is good for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So
we're on fire here.
we're on fire.
This is red hot here, Ruben.
It's hot, right?
How do you work like this?
Well, I mean, it's it's fire, it's hot, but actually I promise you, this is nothing. This is nothing, you know, we're luckily that we can work with Halton hoods. So these hoods are doing an amazing job absorbing all the heat.
Saving the day. Well, this is getting the band back together. And I guess what we see here is what it's all about.
This is what Rich and I we visioned like 4 years ago, standing right here, looking at this atrium.
And are we happy campers about this project?
I'm happy. Mike, for us, we love architecture, but for us, the architecture is really a vessel for this and what Richie and Ruben were hoping to do. So we're really proud of this.
This has been a lot of fun. 2 years of online dating, we get to hang out and enjoy the feasts of our labor.
Well, that sounds like a cheers to me.
Yeah, cheers.
Congratulations,
Cheers,
guys.
Thank you. We made it, guys. Thank you.
The Parkway Residence is located in Miami and uses mitigation solutions as Miami is always threatened by hurricanes. It creates a great family space, but it also has an ingenious solution of rotating the primary bedroom.
You can't say Miami without thinking of the beach. But once you step inside this coastal residence, there's a twist that opens up a whole new world of possibilities. Wow, look at how this place just opens up.
Yeah, an entry should be so much more than just an arrival. Here we wanted it to be a spatial experience. And so in contrast to the entry where we sort of compressed you with the walls and the ceiling, here we have a double height space with light pouring in from up above. You can see out to this beautiful courtyard.
What an amazing space. I mean, look at all this greenery.
Yeah, nature plays such an important role in the architecture here. So we look for species that are interesting not only at the root level at the bottom, but also at the canopy.
And it's funny because you can see how this greenery really is in great contrast to this incredible concrete.
Yeah, concrete plays a big role in the architecture here. Obviously in Miami, we deal with hurricane force winds, so it has a certain permanence, but it also connects to the family. You see, the husband grew up in Peru in a home that had exposed concrete, and so we wanted to tap into that nostalgic effect for his new home, for his new family.
It's funny because I see how there's a lot more going on here than even I first realized.
We have a lot more to show you. Just wait till we get upstairs where I'll show you a few twists and turns.
Oh man, I love a great kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen is the heart of any home. And in this kitchen, we work with Mia Cucina to really bring a sense of luxury and sophistication, with this great big island, but it also scales down. So if the family wants to have a nice dinner at the end of the island here, it also works at that scale too. In the case of the bar we designed with Decoded, it was really designed based on the brief given by the client, which is that they wanted the home to be a home for a family and somewhere for the kids to return to. And so you could imagine a great party where it flows from the pool deck into the courtyard, but then there might be an evening where they just want to watch a movie, in which case we offer the media room, which is a little bit more intimate and cozy.
Yeah, in every room, it seems like there's still something else to explore.
Yeah, the house is really designed as a series of unfolding moments, and the biggest moment I've still yet to show you, and I'm really excited to.
Wow, this is a great moment. Here we're framing the art of the building. I'm seeing all these details we've talked about in one view.
Yeah, I really appreciate the sculptural quality that exists between the concrete form, the carved windows, the V column, the way the light bounces off the vertical glass fins that we did with the Ambiance Interiors. So this is our site, which is a pie-shaped lot. So it's smaller in the waterfront than it is along the street here. And then across the canal, there's a sort of island with other homes. The view really opens up towards the northwest.
Right.
And so we wanted to define one edge on the property, and then by inserting the kids' bedrooms on the east, creating that more rational street front address, and then the primary bedroom offering a little bit more privacy on the west. But it felt a little bit static and didn't really address this more open view line towards the open bay. So the primary wing really rotates to take advantage of that. And the result is this really dynamic courtyard space through this rotation.
How did this not just become one giant greenhouse?
We worked with a great company called ES that offered a product that still offered the clarity towards the view, but also the high performance glass to deal with solar heat gain.
It's incredible how impactful that one rotation is on the entire property.
By rotating, now the primary bedroom gets the benefit of looking out at a more expansive view out towards the waterway, where you can see a beautiful sunset in the afternoon. It's a very subtle spatial technique where we reposition you without knowing that you've been reoriented, but the result is really impactful when you arrive in the bedroom.
You know, having now experienced this home from the beginning where it was a bit more closed off, watching it unfold, and now being on the other side of it, this house now feels so open and expansive.
Yeah, you know, the intention of the design of the house, in the front at least, was to be a little bit more rational in a way it addresses the street. And so this creates a private public buffer to the more intimate family areas like the courtyard and where we stand on the pool deck. And so this porosity at the rear is intentional, the way that these spaces connect through this entertainment space and into the courtyard as one contiguous space. But in fact, it can be also separated with the sliding glass doors as well.
Looking at it from this angle where you see everything all at once, I see just a lot of little details. But how do you know that those details are going to come together to create this symphony?
You know, it takes many years of working with the client through the design details, but the thing I'm most proud of is when we come back and we see the way the clients have really made it their own.
I know you set out to make something really great. I mean, I think you did it. This is remarkable.
More and more, we are no longer employees. We are members of a team. And so office design has become much more like designing a members club, everything that you would want in a members club. And TMA Offices does this beautifully.
The iconic Chrysler Building was built in the late 1920s, not exactly a time where much consideration was given to the average employee. But today, Ted Moodis is in that building and they are redefining the employee experience. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Robin, how are you?
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure, welcome.
Now, I have a question right off the bat. So there's a lot of design principles here in this office, but you were awarded the honor of designing your new space.
Yes, lucky me, right?
Lucky you,
Right,
so I want to hear all about that.
But all kidding aside though, it was a really great opportunity for us to rethink ourselves. We started to ask ourselves questions about what should an architect's office look like? Why do they all look the same?
I already feel so led into this space with this gorgeous, is this a custom rug?
Yes, this is a custom rug by Tom Buck Agency.
Oh.
They helped us create this beautiful ombre effect that changes color from our TMA blue to the dark navy blue, leading you right into the front door. And the blue is also a wonderful way to offset the beautiful marquetry doors from the iconic Chrysler Building.
I couldn't help but notice that, but I really want to get inside. Can we go?
Absolutely,
All right,
I'd love to
let's
show
do
you.
it. Okay, so first of all, this feels much more inviting than your typical austere architecture firm.
I'm so glad that you said that because that's exactly what we were going for. We did not want it to look like the traditional architect's office at all.
And the first thing I noticed was coming in, you're not confronted by that big reception desk. And
Right, if you notice the height, it's a counter height, so it's much more approachable and welcoming.
Okay, so here you have really more of that meeting space for clients, I guess, or
Well, it's actually
guests?
designed really for our staff. So everything that you see here, the soft seating, the lounge chairs, and this table and the cafe, was designed to create alternate work areas for the staff. They can plug in their laptops and connect seamlessly to all the technology, and it offers an alternate place to meet and to get away from their desk.
Oh, so innovative. Okay, so at least here, is this more that traditional conference room area?
It's a little bit of that, but a little different. We refer to this as our multi-purpose room, and the walls by IAP, they fold away. So they nest up against the walls, and this allows the multi-purpose room to open up and flow seamlessly into this space so that we have one large social and gathering space.
Oh, no way, that's so cool.
Yes, it's important for us to think not only about just the architecture and the envelope, but also the furnishings. So this is actually a little homage to Ted, who's the founder of the company. Ted grew up working in a diner, and that really instilled in him the sense of work ethic and business savvy, and that really has become part of our own brand and culture because we're really focused on client service.
Oh, that's an incredible story. Now, I have to say, I'm very drawn in by these gorgeous wide plank oak floors.
Yeah, these are by Bielen. It's a Swedish wood flooring manufacturer, and they run from the elevator lobby to the reception, lounge, and throughout the cafe. So it creates a sense of flow and continuity throughout the office.
Oh, it's beautiful. And kudos to you for using a natural material here. It really shows through in the warmth of the space. Speaking of natural materials, this desking is just stunning. A natural marble here?
Yes, this is Brunello Graze stone, and this table was customized for us by TUI.
Okay.
A furniture manufacturer. We found a particular line that they had, and they were able to create this for us.
I love this two-tier effect that we get here. It's a wonderful platform for these iconic globes.
These Foscarini lights, which you mentioned, are classic. They're sort of playful, and they add a little bit of whimsy to the space, and they help fill out the volume a little bit. Well, we actually fell in love with the shadows when we saw the light fixture, and we thought that it was a perfect reference to the lighting at the top of the Chrysler Building crown at night.
Okay, see now, there's a lot of references to the Chrysler Building in this space.
Right, oh Robin, how could we not do that, right? So we've included a few vintage iconic photographs, we have vintage objects, and then of course we also felt compelled to reference the steel in some of the artwork, the planters, and then we have this wonderful sculpture here in the front of the office.
Okay, finally, my favorite part of the studio.
I knew it would be, right? This is our design library, or what we commonly refer to as our design lab.
Oh, I love that.
Right, and we intentionally placed this right off of our entry doors, which forces all of our staff to constantly walk back and forth and through the library, so everybody can really feel a part of it and see what's new and exciting.
And here we have the lovely Nicole.
Hello, Robin. How are you? So nice to see you. Oh, welcome, welcome.
Okay, so what do you think of this new design lab that you have here?
It's so spacious. I get to store as much product as I want, and we have plenty of space to display magazines, new products, and we give the designers a chance to also put up things that just inspire them throughout the day.
So Jeff, I understand that back here is where the actual design studio is.
Right, that's where all the magic happens back there. There are a few little details I want to point out. There are arches that we've inserted above the windows throughout the studio.
Oh, really? So those arches weren't here from the beginning?
Exactly.
Oh, cool.
Right. And in addition to that, we inserted 2 other large wooden arches in the space, and that helps to break up the scale. So instead of it being one large, massive studio, it now feels like 3 more intimate spaces.
So Rachel, how does the space working for you and the team?
Oh, it's great. It's really exciting. Everyone's back to the office. It really feels like hospitality, residential space. We've got some little film booths. Everyone's working in the little huddle rooms and little special areas. And we have a wellness room. We have great bathrooms.
Oh, really? I love a good ladies' room.
Yeah. And then we have, this area, we have big events. So we had a big event last week.
Oh, we had our big IIDA event a couple of weeks ago. We honored you for that. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was great. We're actually having an event tonight.
Really?
Yeah. Come along.
I love it. Party. Okay, Ted, so are you happy?
Love the space. It turned out exactly as Jeff proposed it. And what he accomplished here, as far as my opinion, there's no other environment that's like this in the city. So
happy client, happy life.
Happy client. That's all we can ask for,
all right?
Yeah. For
sure. Jeff told me a little story off camera about an employee that was out sick for a couple of days. And when she came back, she confessed that she actually really missed being here. Now, if that's not human-centric workplace design, I don't know what is.
We hope you've enjoyed our look at some of the finest architectural designs from around America. Join us next time for more groundbreaking architecture on America by Design. For more information on any of the projects featured in this series, go to bydesign.global.